Because remember, that doesn't gauge correctly. You're live too.
Yeah, I know I'm not in frame, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm just letting you know that people are hearing. That's all.
It needs to go that way.
I got it. I'm looking through YouTube right now. I got it. That's why
Needs to go that
I got it. Just let me adjust it. See, you're in frame.
way. Hey, Shanta. 9. Okay, so we gonna give it a few seconds. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Grant. What's up? Or it's always what's up. What's going down? What is happening with y'all? Reed, Vivilous Rod, what's going on? Hi, how you doing? We got 18 people. We gonna try to get it to at least, a reasonable amount before we begin. If we don't, in a few minutes, I'm gonna read the news anyway. Jay Smalls, what's going on? I'm sorry to the last person that told me don't vape. I'm vaping still. I apologize for that. But hey, life is what it is. There we go. Grant, revisualist. Amen. Just prayed for this dinar literally. I think there's a lot to be happy for with dinar literally right now. Lahijah, Rudison, hi. Wanda, hello. Sean, hi. Corey, hi. Shauna, greetings. Shanta, hi. Malcolm, hello. We got 30 people. Big Law, hi. Eureka, thank you, everybody. And for everybody out there, please remember, if you like this content, you got to go out there. You have to subscribe. And more importantly, you got to hit the subscription bell and know when we go live. We go typically live on Thursdays, and we go live approximately 7 p.m. That's Central Standard Time, so make sure you adjust it from there. Hey, Tanya Player. Hey there, sis, Nisi. I hope you're well, Denise. Happy anniversary to Denise.
Tanaya player.
Yeah.
That's my niece, yes.
That's my niece right there, Tanaya. That's your
Hey,
niece?
Tanaya.
Hey, Tanaya. I see you out there. Maneska, Gossip, hello. Chris Club, hi. We got 50. I'm trying to get it to 100. I don't know if I'm going to get there. I'm going to give it 4 more minutes. Josie, of course, you're always welcome. Aloha. Glad to see you from the island, the big island. Sean Warfield, welcome. Denia Player. Hey, Auntie. Kawaii
Hey.
Girl. Aloha, Mr. Brando. Aloha, Kawaii Girl. Man, many greetings from my people from the islands. I got so much love from the islands. I just can't even really begin to tell you. Sammy D, of course, what's up? Regina. Taylor, what's going on? Miss April, Mr. BB. Alonzo, what's going on? Trying to make this money. Nicole, what's the deal? Delisa Adams, good evening. Man, we may not make it. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. I'm going to get to this news. But that's okay, y'all.
They coming in. You got 52 people.
Yeah, I was trying to get to 100, but that's okay.
I posted in Telegram. I posted on your page the link, so they coming.
Maximum play gang. It's gang all day. Gang all day, all day, all day. Shauna, if there's over 50 people watching, there should be over 50 thumbs up. I agree with your logic. I really do. Shauna said, and I'm just quoting Shauna, not me. If there's 50 people watching, there should be 50 thumbs up. Help out the algorithm. Help out the news. If y'all want people to get accurate news that actually comes from articles, and you know what I actually saw the other day? I'm going to make you laugh. Someone said, well, all these gurus, they actually have real intel, or do they read articles and give their assessment? So my question was this. What have you ever known, a stock, a cryptocurrency, anything, that you can read articles and give your critical assessment of it? And if it's true, people follow you. And if it's not, they don't follow you.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't a currency be the same thing?
It's no different.
It's no different. That's the dumbest shit I've ever.
Well, but I also you got
dumbest thing I ever heard.
You got to think about it, right? Like most of the time, a reporter is giving his own. Like he may state the facts, but at the end, he's giving his own personal take on it, the situation.
Right. You want the news, and that way someone can make a critical assessment of it. What do they do on the news? They give them a correspondent or a pundit to say, follow this, give us your opinion on it, right? They don't say, here's this technical data, do you have boots on the ground? They say, give us your forthright opinion about this. That's what this is about, and that's what, to me, is the most important thing going forward. Thanks, Regina. Thank you for that shout out. What do I think about the Iranian Real? I'm still staying away from it. I treat the Iranian Real like I treat any subpar penny stock. I don't get too much enthused about it, but I do watch it because it is important. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's just that you guys got to realize this. If the dinar is going to go, the Iranian Real is going to go one day.
Are we allowed to hold?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
But I'm not an advocate of it. But I'm just saying, if you look at the region and you say, well, the region's this or the region's that, well, I mean, Iran's part of the region, especially when it comes to propinquity. It's right next to it. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, hey, if you have Real, great for you. I don't hold any. I don't want any. But if you do, good for you. April BB, Texas up in this thing. Gang, 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 gang.
I know that's right. What's up, Nicole?
Yeah, Denise, just like old times, we in this thing. So I got 1 minute. I'm going to get started. Zaviko Slotniks, hello. Man, there's a major meeting happening with G7. Oh, we just got blessed. Wade Wellington just blessed us with $5. Shout out to Wade Wellington. Shout out to Wade right now, Wellington. Shout out. Shout out my Iron Chef homie, the Metal Chef, the best chef out there. Gave me one last week. Man, I'm so blessed. I can't even really just describe to you the blessings that we get on this channel. And not, you know, we got 41 likes. I appreciate that. Let's start with this news. What are you doing? I'm doing a show, Flamenco. I'm doing a show. Shout out to Wade, April BB. What up, girl? Nicole said that. Oh, that's your girl, Nicole.
Yeah, I know. I said hi.
Oh, okay. I see you, Nicole. Okay. Let's get to this news.
Yeah, guess me too.
So on Monday, the Iraqi Stock Exchange achieved a major boom. That's why I say, you guys, if you're buying dinar, stop buying dinar. Join the Noble Institution. Buy blocks. Blocks take you so much further than dinar, which amount to 40.8 billion dinars shared, despite the increase in trading volume. Then now the overall volume of the whole exchange was down 0.09%, but it amounted to more than 50 billion shares. If you want to get into trading stock and you want to have some fun with it, join the Noble Institution, join the LISX portion of it, and take advantage of these booms. Does it make a ton of money right now? No. But when it does, you will be so much happier. Because look at all these meme stocks out of there. Look at Dogecoin. Look at all this stuff going on. There's a lot going on that shows you that you don't just get paid once, you can get paid forever. Now, the Oil and Energy Committee confirmed on Monday that oil and gas law is one of the most important laws, and it just to be difficult to pass in Parliament, while indicating that the law is clinically dead and will not see the vote under this administration. The oil and gas law is one of the most important laws. The House of Representatives has been suspended since the first session, and it's not impossible to vote on this law In light of the difference of political and conflicts between the federal government and the Kurdistan region, the oil and gas law is considered clinically hard, and the vote will not see the light of day until the current parliamentary session or the next. Remember, there's 2 more sessions. That's the important part here. There are 2 more sessions that you have to take in consideration when you're listening to this. So don't take the bad for the bad. Take the words for what they are and take the time frames for what they are. Article 111 of the Constitution states that the oil belongs to all Iraqis, and any new field are managed in partnership between the local authority and the center, which is, of course, Baghdad. But this did not happen with the fields of Kurdistan. Remember, the fields of Kurdistan just came into the fold. They are obligated to give between 250 barrels of oil per day all the way up to 500,000 barrels per day oil. So remember that. That's important because this was not taken into consideration under the guise of the oil and gas law. Remember that. That's very, very important. The ministries of oil and energy in Erbil and Baghdad governments are keen on the need to expedite the passage of this law because of its important regulated management of oil and gas from the wealth of Iraq. They recognize it. They already know. It's not a secret. The oil and gas law is kind of like saying you have to settle the disputes with the Kurds. You got to pay Kuwait. Those things are going to happen. Now, an amendment to the Constitution is not necessarily the most important thing that needs to happen. However, all Iraqis will benefit from this law. And for these people to take notice of it when it did is important. You know why?
Why?
Because it means it's topical. What's relevant gets responsibility, it gets attention. If it wasn't relevant, they weren't talking about it, it would get no attention. Now, the Kurdistan Democratic Party parliamentary bloc revealed the existence of a preliminary agreement for the political forces to resolve the oil and gas law. That's resolve it right now. Okay? They want to have it resolved right now. This came after blocs, including Kurdistan, submitted their observations on some articles of the law of the Parliamentary Oil and Energy Committee in preparation for passage in Parliament. So, not only is it topical, it's already in talks. Those talks are therefore telling folks that guess what? It's on our mind. We need to take care of it. We already have preliminary talks going, so it's not dead. It's just been silent. Kind of like in the US of A, when you hear talks about different things, it may go to committee, it may go to a vote on the floor. Right now, it's still in committee. Don't count that out. That's major news this week. The government can subsidize almost $4 trillion a month in dinar by just controlling the telecommunication centers, reinvesting it back into the government, and this article popped it out. Yeah, I did. I've said this. Iraq has to figure out a way to make money beyond oil. If they just reinvested it in telecommunications, they could darn near net what they're netting now in oil in telecommunications to the tune of $4 trillion a month. That's major news because anything that subsidizes oil doesn't put a strain on the budget. It doesn't put a strain on the subsidy of the budget. However, on Monday, Tamimi said the government is far from the telecommunications sector and did not benefit because of non-investment, pointing out the sector will spare the country from oil imports and can supplement the budget within a maximum of 4 trillion dinars per month. If you knocked off 10%, that's $4 billion. That gets us where we need to be. That's major, major, major important. Recent statistics indicated the mobile phone companies received in a total approximately 6 trillion dinars, while Iraq does not receive anything because of revenues in these companies except from taxes and licenses. You know, kind of like much countries, they need to really look at taking over certain industries so that they can benefit from those industries over the long run. Telecommunications is one. Silver is another. Precious metals another. I'm going to drop some bombs in just a second, and that will tell you a major thing. Telecommunications stream is equivalent to the oil or a little less than it. Do you hear me? telecommunication stream is equivalent to oil or perhaps a little less than it. So them taking over the telecommunications is huge. Now, watch this. Then after the government announces that, they announce this. The Ministry of Communication revealed a new supported internet packages. The communication said that there are 3 prices for internet packages, which are bronze at 35,000 dinars, silver 40,000 dinars, or golden. So instantly after they said it, a couple days later they put it in writing. We're getting into the telecommunications business, and we're going to start substituting oil as a whole and put it in telecommunications. Huge. That is amazing. That's awesome news. All these prices are subsidized by the Ministry of Communications. Boom. So now you have oil making one fee, telecommunications making another. Let me see if there are any questions out there. Sean said, Brando, are you still pretty firm in your thoughts that October is the month to watch for? Yeah. Look at everything I'm saying. Yes, I am absolutely solidified and thinking from October all the way to the end of the year are the frame that I am most interested in since I've been inducted into this investment. Hands down.
Nicole asked, what does it mean for a country to make Bitcoin a national currency?
She's talking about, I believe, it's not Venezuela, it's,
I have them.
I had them too. It's a South American company that's using Bitcoin as a hedge. Is it Venezuela? No, it's not. It's,
I'll tell you in a second.
It's a South American company. What it means is that if you had zero dog in the fight as far as your currency and you wanted to hedge, putting Bitcoin as a hedge against the national currency is a more stable bet than the currency itself. Now, Iraq, in touch with Saudi Arabia, and some other people were talking about XRP, or the platform, the blockchain of XRP. Not actually XRP, but the blockchain of it. And that's major news also, because you got to think, hey, if they're using blockchain or DeFi system, especially DeFi system, if they were using those things as to achieve a certain status as far as a hedge goes against the government beyond oil, which I'm going to show you in a way, or beyond
El Salvador.
El Salvador. It was El Salvador. I was wrong, right?
No, I think you're pretty much right. And what's coming is Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay.
Yeah, I posted that in the group the other day. Mexico, Brazil, Paraguay, El Salvador are looking at hedging their currencies against Bitcoin.
El Salvador is already accepted.
Oh, El Salvador's already in.
The ones that are up and coming are Paraguay, Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina. They're coming.
I think for us, the biggest one there would be Mexico. And the reason why Mexico, because Mexico is in the Northern Hemisphere, and that would really show a show of force as far as what's happening as far as economics goes with the digital space. Remember, everybody, talking about them opening up the books and crediting transparency before the new government comes into place, and therefore they can actually have some type of real economic reform. Where's the proof of practice? The Ministry of Communications has previously noted that there is no increase in the fees, cards, blah, blah. But right after they said, remember everybody, talking about them opening up the books and creating transparency before the new government comes into place. Therefore, they can actually have some type of real economic reform. Where's the proof of practice? Well, the proof of practice is here. Kazemi just opened up with this statement. The recently launched annual government performance report. So everybody that's out there looking for the books being open and how are they transparent, how does that equate from what we're doing to what's going on? They've actually started a performance report in which the information and the readings were included in all transparency, accuracy, and clarity, and it includes the government achievements during a whole year. That is total transparency. That's what you're looking for. When you talk about open up the books, now the books are now open. And it's funny timing. I told you, what am I looking for? I'm looking for these dates. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying, look, you ask why I'm looking because this is what's in the news daily. The government performance report lists all transparency and impartiality, what the government accomplished from May 2020, year ago, to May 2021, to this current year, as well as everything that is in the process of being accomplished. You ask for total transparency. There it is. Total transparency is in this annual report that Kazemi has demanded that be done. It's done a year ago. It just happened now. So when I see people out there, well, they take 2 steps forward, they take 2 steps back, prove me wrong. I don't have to prove anything to you. I just have to show you what they're doing. You just proved yourself wrong. And if you hold dinar and you're not believing in this because of this transparency, then you should sell it to me at a discount and I'll alleviate from all your stress and pressure. Because I truly believe something great is going on. Now get what the PM is saying. This is important. Kazemi, we established a path of reform and change and began to progress in it. And together we will turn the past years and proceed to a bright and promising future that meets the hope of all young Iraqis. He didn't say old. He didn't say middle-aged. He said young Iraqis, like the days of yesteryear. This is important. I'm not just telling you this. It's not that reading's fundamental. Reading's important. Are there any questions while I keep doing this? Because I'm stunned all day.
Go ahead there. I mean,
can I have a sip of water, y'all? Y'all don't mind?
Go ahead.
Okay. Prime Minister Kazemi stressed on Tuesday that the people had failed the corrupt, pointing out that we had put in place the first plan of economic reform in the history of Iraq in the white papers. That's really what he's saying. The first history of reform. So when people say what happened, they just put in place the first history of reform, not prior history of reform. I'm like a preacher. I'm not stand up in a pulpit and be like,
that's why I said take a glass of water.
Oh my God. The first, this is why I came back. Okay? The first history of reform. The government, despite the heavy legacy and great challenges, has taken great steps or important steps on the path of reform and saved the country financially and economically. It's trying very hard and plans and strategies that have been prepared to put the country on the right path, which are the white papers. After we have closed the first year of government life, which was granted by Parliament, we affirm that the Iraqi government is capable of playing its civilized role in the world. In the world! Now, I know you get lost in translation and say, oh, they got to play civilized within their own country, they got to play civilized in the region. But this is Kazemi's words, in the world, as if the Iraqi civilization rotting law and science should be noted. Do I need to say that one more time? In which, granted by Parliament, we affirm the Iraqi government is capable of playing its civilized role in the world, as it is in Iraq, as in civilization, writing, law, and science. Since it was written, it shall be done. And those achievements during a whole year, which is last year when they started the governance about this new transparency. They just started it. The government performance report lists in all transparency and impartiality what the government has accomplished from May 2021. Man, they opened up the books. You ask about the books being open, how they're being transparent. This is their first step in all transparency from Iraq to the world about their books being open. This just happened. This hasn't happened. You listen to other people say, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. No, they just did this now. Yeah, that's a bomb, Gerald. I ain't got to read it to see it. That's a bomb. If I had my bombs up, I'd be boom, boom, boom. But you know what? It ain't about bragging. It's about being accurate. Right? The budget's been in the Gazette, Sammy D. Our people have suffered a lot and have been let down by corruption, the slogan dealers and the unscrupulous, and today we put before you in full transparency, man, full transparency, what we've accomplished from year to date. Can I get a bomb on my damn self? I'm sorry to cuss, but what else do I got to tell you? You had to have full transparency, the books being open prior to them reinstating, prior to them paying off Kuwait. So people told you. Now they're telling you, this is massive. This is unheard of. I've never read this. That's why I told you the timing for me coming back to you is really unique, because I thought this was coming. That's why I'm excited. I'm not a pumper. Screw pumping the dinar. If you own dinar, you pumped yourself. If you own dinar, don't tell me what I need to prove to you to make you right. Tell me what you need to prove to me why you bought the currency anyway. Because I don't invest in things I don't believe. Do you? Do you invest in things you don't believe in? Whether it be a digital, whether it be a stock, an option? Do you do that? No, you don't. You make an assessment based upon the news or based upon the information that you have, and you buy or you don't buy. That's all I'm saying. And it's funny that these are the reasons why you buy. Now, are you ready for a little bit more? On the highlight of that, saying that Iraq is beyond reproach, all the corrupt hidden inside of the Swiss bank accounts received an official letter from the Swiss ambassador to Iraq. During the meeting, they discussed ways to enhance joint cooperation between two sides, especially the possibility of signing a memorandum of cooperation between the two ministries. A possibility, not that it's done, but a possibility that it's done. Iraq and the Swiss justice to exchange legal expertise and judicial notification to develop the capacity development of the ministry staff in the near future. So what everybody, I'm trying to tell you why between the Swiss and them, because between the Swiss and Iraq means, guess what? Unlike the Caribbean that most people don't understand, another tax haven is Switzerland. They're trying to get the money back from Switzerland. So if you get all the money out of these Swiss bank accounts that are everywhere, what would happen? What would that do to the enhancement of the value of the dinar? I'm telling you, it's not crazy the reason why we wanted to come back today. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys have heard this, but if you guys have looked at a site, and I'm being all transparent too, so you don't think I'm lying. You see what that says? Iraq Forex. You see that? Iraq Forex. Iraqi citizens. Forex trading is now possible from Iraq thanks to international brokers. Iraqis can now trade in Forex. While Iraq has been plagued with war and economic problems in recent years, there is also one positive development. Boom, 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 boom. Iraq now, not before, now, as a country that is part of international community, and Iraqis have been granted access to international services provided, such as forex brokers, without restrictions. Can I get a bomb or two just for that? Having access to such large as forex brokers brings in many advantages. Such brokers offer high leverage, allowing people to trade large sums. Now, I don't want to confuse you guys and say that Iraq is on the Forex. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying that Iraq, as citizens, are now allowed to trade on the Forex markets. Again, that is something that has never happened before. Okay? Thank you for them bombs. Thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you for the 100 people on here right now. Thank you for the positive reassessment. I'm looking at the likes. I'm looking at the people on here. Thank you. You guys are awesome. But I'm not telling you nothing that I can't look at my darn self. Daisy can look that up. You see that? Can you see my screen? I ain't making up nothing. What's the difference between us and everybody else? We do our research. Now, a lot of you now are going to say to me, well, Mr. Brando, what's the positivity about being on Forex or having access to the Forex market? I don't know if everybody's talking about this. Can I talk about it though, man? Am I allowed to talk about this?
Go ahead.
Can I tell my people, a few of my friends, my homies that came here with me, I ain't looking for 100,000 views. You know what I'm looking for? A few thousand 1,000 friends that want to get rich. And now you can sit back and laugh and say, well, what have they done differently? They didn't do 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. Not today. Foreign exchange. Daisy's even excited. Daisy up here like, can I get on this Forex? And by the way, the Noble Institution does trade in Forex markets. If you want to do passive or active trading, join the Noble Institution. We can help you to achieve all your goals. However, and hit up Megan if you want to know. Megan will get you signed up. Forex exchange is the trading different national currencies or unit of account. It is important because the exchange rate or the price of one currency in terms of another helps to determine a nation's economic health and hence the well-being of all people residing in it. Now, do you think it's not totally unknowable or understandable that they understand that if they're going to allow their people to trade in Forex, that they don't understand their currency's not on it? Generally, central banks operating under a stable government, generally speaking, hold large quantities of reserve currencies. Are you meaning to tell me that you don't think the Central Bank of Iraq is not only trading on Forex, they're not capitalizing inside of especially the commodities market, gold, silver, oil? Hold on. Large quantity of reserve currencies, euro, US dollar. We know they hold US dollar. Japan, British pound. We know British pound just told they want to invest inside of the farming institution inside of Iraq. Can somebody else give me a bond, please? Please? It's not that I read. It's that I read every day. And reading is so fundamental to what you're doing. Japanese yen. We know they got a contract with Swiss franc. We just talked about them. Chinese renminbi. Chinese renminbi is the most important, in my opinion, at this point, because all those contracts, oil for work, oil for pay, oil for this. Do you not think that they don't know that? And they're trading in Forex every day? If they're not trading the pound against the yen or the yen against the pound, do you not think they don't think about that? When the economy of a country starts flattening, the central bank will reduce interest rates. That will make the domestic currency unattractive to foreign investors. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that the reserves are used to maintain stability? So when we talk about Iraq having large foreign reserves, especially in dollars, that helps quell or to subside stability in the economy. So when people tell me, well, they're still using the US dollar and, of course, the currency auction, of course, I've told you this. The auctions can't stop because it helps with inflation. When the country starts flattening, the central bank will reduce interest rates. That will make the domestic currency unattractive to foreign investors. But foreign investors like you and I are very attracted to the marketplace because we already know the central bank will also intervene. Sell domestic currency, which they do in the auction. Oh my God, I'm giving a lesson. They will do it in the auction, sell the domestic currency, and buy the reserve currency in the Forex market. So you know what they're doing? The reason why they're able to prop up their economy? They've got their currency in their own market and they're quelling it. But what they're doing with the reserves is they're selling it. They're tapering down the inflationary measure. This ain't hard to figure out, and it's keeping interest rates low as they can. That will make the domestic currency unattractive. If necessary to ensure domestic currency remains weak, the weak domestic currency will make exports competitive. Further, a rise in liquidity coupled with low interest rates will encourage spending. That will lead to economic growth. Once the inflationary pressure starts to build, the central bank will raise the benchmark of interest rates. So interest rates are a key to this and will increase the attractiveness of domestic currency to overseas investors. If necessary, the central bank will intervene, buy the domestic currency and sell the reserve currency. They'll buy their own currency and sell the other currency, right? As liquidity tightens, enterprises and individuals will think twice before spending. That will avoid overheating of the economy. Thus, central bank uses the Forex market to strengthen or weaken domestic, they use it to strengthen or weaken, but they're choosing to strengthen the currency, if necessary, ensure smooth functioning of the economy. Boom. That is so pure and so simple. And here's how, in the interim, since they're all waiting for all this to happen, the individual Iraqi as a person, if they have a minimal amount, will take advantage of the situation and not depend on the government to help it out. The Victory Bloc confirmed on Tuesday that the process of manipulating price bills on all products and smuggling currency abroad was a major reason for the rise in the dollar exchange rate. With the rise in the price of oil, they will trade it on the Forex market. That's what they said. The rise of the oil on the Forex market will be based against some currency exchange, and they will use that to limit the outcome and help out the poor, and also affected in the reconstruction and construction process. The markets are witnessing an outrageous rise in commercial products, building material, iron, high exchange rate, dollar against the dinar. That's it, folks. They're going to use the Forex market like a commodity-based project. They're going to use it against different currencies. They already have a list of brokers they can use. They're going to use that against those commodities, and they're going to help the individual investor through a brokerage firm help the actual individual Iraqi person. We already know now that the central bank has been taking advantage of it. We also know that some big institutional buying has been taking care of it. And basically, that is the news. Do we have any questions, comments, or answers before I say goodnight? Yeah, major. I don't know if anybody's talking about it, but Iraqis being able to use the Forex marketplace through major brokerage firms is massive. I don't know if anybody's talking about it, but I don't even know. Let's talk about some meme stocks or something. Yeah, they do have those two separate accounts. Yeah, and here's the other thing. Oil, they said, could reach $100 a barrel. Anything over $45 a barrel, 90% goes to one account, 10% goes to another.
Why is oil continuously going up?
Because the world's opening up. Like I said.
Gas went up at the pump 11 cents in 2 days. A gallon.
And that's going to be the whole thing for a lot of people is that they're going to be mad at oil prices, but without high oil prices, Iraq can't pay off Kuwait. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are talking about reducing the dollar rate, but they're also talking about reducing the dollar rate because the oil rate is so high, they should be able to do so. But how are they able to do so? Because they can actually use it as a hedge against what? The Forex market. Now, should be both and new.
Does it change the timeline?
No. It just reinforces it. It reinforces the timeline, or for what I'm looking at. And you guys, look, I promise these shows were only going to be 30 minutes. I hate to do this to y'all, but I'm going to cut this off. If you got any questions, you should join the Noble Institution, or you should be on the Mr. Brando April BB Facebook page.
I put your email in the description.
Yeah, if you got a question, send it to me directly. I will try to answer all of them as I can. Heavy Metal Chef's going to call me. Great. I have to run a few errands. I promised you guys this time. I thank you for it.
Did you already answer when do we think Kuwait will be paid off? Did you answer that?
Yeah, within 2 quarters, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I really do. I think we paid off within 2 quarters. Hope y'all have a fabulous evening. I won't hold you any longer. We're going a little over our 30-minute guideline. But with that, I want to say a peace and thank you. Good evening. I'll see you next week.